Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Bodingles back again with more Flesh and Blood content. Still no magic, no plans for that. But I finally have a topic that I kind of want to make more consistent videos on when it comes to Flesh and Blood. And if you can't guess by the title of this video, it is about the new character I've been enjoying working on a lot, which seeing so many people rate this character as terrible on their tier lists, I don't necessarily think it's unreasonable for them to feel that way, but it kind of scratched that old itch of when I used to just play Orzhov exclusively in Magic, where it's like, I doubt this deck is that bad. There has to be some configuration of cards that can let you beat people, especially since I think Flesh and Blood is a game that really rewards understanding every single card choice in your deck and being prepared and having a good game plan, both macro and micro. So, if I didn't say the hero, because I already get lost in my words, it's Vynnset. And I don't just like casually like this hero, I really like the hero. So much so, it's like the first deck I've ever blinged out. Even got the cold foil hero, and I just like, I don't know. It's really exciting. It really does remind me of playing Orzhov in Magic, where it's like, I feel like to a certain degree I'm playing all these cards that are weaker and have very clear downsides, but then together you can do some pretty incredible things that aren't really appreciated. So what I'm hoping to do in future videos is share, I guess, not that I'm the best at it, but I've been playing a lot of Vynnset. So I want to just like share hopefully gameplay and like different deck configurations that I've tried. And my goal with this is to help other people who are maybe interested in playing a character like this to become better at it. And I put the disclaimer that I'm not the best at it, right? But I've played probably way too much already. Vynnset, she's just like so interesting to me. Every day that I play her, I feel like I learn something new. And I'll just give you guys a little example. So let me switch scenes here. This is kind of like my progression into the character. Just like I would imagine everybody, the first real exposure I had to this character was the Runaways list. And it was cool to me being a former Guardian player that, right, Bravo specifically, that loved playing pummels. It was very cool to me to see a Runeblade that pretty effectively used this. A lot of times you would have two pitch floating, and like, I think even as they described, if you play one of your attacks with a Mauve Skies, threaten the on hit, and then they block for that on hit, you pummel them, get the discard plus the rune chance. It's disgusting. But yeah, this was like the starting point for I feel like most people who tried Vynnset. And then through playing this, I was really not a fan of like a ton of their card choices, or even the way, even their ratios just like don't mesh with my brain. Once again, they're probably all better players than me, but just like personally, like I was saying, the macro and micro plan, I think a big part of that comes down to deck building. And if the card choices that I brought into the game didn't match with how I think the game should be played, I was just going to be bad on two different angles. So, if you can see, just from my own gameplay, I have, granted, this is just Talishar, but I have two of the lists on this most played list, which they both have decent win rates. And I'm not trying to say that that means everything, but for me, I'm more so impressed at like the games played of 233 total, right? 133 here and 100 here, because I have this issue where I make like probably 100 deck lists for a character I'm interested in, just so I don't forget anything, and I play games on all of them. So I'm saying this to kind of show my like obsessive dedication to playing this character. It's just been so fun. And as an example, these are just the lists I still have. And I've probably deleted like 30 or 40 of them for the sake of this video because I wanted to share, I guess, my progression before I end it. So just as like a little, I guess, like backstory, right? I said I started with the Runaways list, and then this is kind of through trial and error a list I got closer to. You can see I'm still on the pummels, but in my mind, when I first test the deck, I want to play 3 ofs because if a card merits a slot in the deck, I want to see that card and like really feel the impact of including it. So you can just see it's 3, 3, 3, 3 everywhere, except for my equipment ratio kind of messed this up. But yeah, you see sideboard, almost all 3 ofs. Oblivion, if that wasn't a deck, would have been that's all you got, number 3. And yeah, so this was interesting for me because I really got to feel the impact of like Envelop in Darkness, when and when not to use Vynnset's hero ability. This was just like a great shell for me to learn on. So that's kind of like roughly where I started at. Like I said, I make tons of deck lists. And then I eventually got to this one that I called Smooth Brain Vin. And the reason behind that was because pretty much just like the way I thought of this list is it was a lot more linear, just like going for good numbers in terms of D-reacts. I kind of view these as like 0 for 6s because it's 4 block, 1 damage, and then 1 mana if you pull it off. So like 0 for 6, 0 for 5, 0 for 4 is just like good rates. You could see I cut a lot of the envelopes. Man, the Runaways, you can tell I had impact from them because I say it wrong sometimes. I want to say envelope, but envelop, excuse me. And at this point of my deck building, I was pretty much like exclusively running Tunic. I just thought it was really, really important, which I still do. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to demonstrate the progression. So I came around to this way of playing, and then there's probably been many iterations since there, which has now taken me to my current iteration that I've been messing with, which is a much more low to the ground version with a Revel, which Revel I freaking love. And once I get the rest of my cards in the mail, I'll probably do like a deck tech on this, partially because I just like showing off the cool shiny cards I have, but just explaining, I guess, how I got to this part, because this deck list, if you can't tell, looks a lot different than some of the others, and I got off of my normal 3 ofs everything, 2 of here, 2 of here, 2 of here. It's been like a really fun journey, another 2 of, to mess around with this deck list. And like I said, I see conversation about Vynnset. I see a lot of people have different ideas, and personally I hate engaging in the purple Discord because of many reasons. I'm not trying to shame anyone. If you enjoy it, go for it. Community is a big part of the game. But I've been a big fan of thinking that TCGs help you build friendships and like communication skills. And for me personally, I really enjoy doing that with people I get to interact with in real life. So like in terms of how getting to this deck list, I asked my friend, getting this deck in the first place, my friends Marcus, Levi, and Sam all kind of like, I don't want to say peer pressured me, but they encouraged me to get into this deck. And my other friends hated that I played Dromai. So I was like, I'll play something new. And then building this through different iterations, I got a lot of feedback from my friend Sam. I got a lot of feedback from my friend Jeremy, he was like my end boss at locals for such a long time. So I really appreciate getting his feedback. I got some feedback from my friend Rick. He's given me some really good tips. And through like all of this, I guess like data collection, trial and error, I've just been having a blast. And ultimately, I don't want to ramble too long. The goal of this series, if it becomes one, obviously my uploads aren't consistent, is I just kind of want to like share the exploration process of Vynnset. I kind of missed making YouTube videos, so hopefully this will reintroduce me to that. And yeah, like through this process, I guess my goal is to share my ideas, hopefully receive feedback from other people, because everybody has different gameplay experiences, right? Like I can't test it all alone, essentially. And even if I don't agree with other people's ideas, I'd love to get feedback. Even though not only do I not agree, I will probably argue with you in my head, be like, oh, that's so stupid. But it's all really fun for me. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I will plan to put up some gameplay. I might even include it in this video. My editing skills are rough. To end this, I just want to say thank you for watching. Hopefully, I can learn something from people commenting, and other people can see, I guess, my contribution to working on this interesting deck that is widely thought of to be like one of the shittiest decks possible. And it's just been a blast. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy the gameplay and engage with the channel in the future. Thank you.